Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, Coach Jerod having a little issues with rackets. Arms hurting a little bit, wrists is hurting a little bit. So unfortunately, we're going on another racket journey.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately, we're going on another racket journey, so I have more content, okay? Stay tuned. Tag partner!
Oh gosh!
Oh, Coach Goo just did a tweener on the Fast Track Tennis. You can get your tweener on the Fast Track Tennis too. 365 days a year. Discount code is below. Get your Fast Track on today. Hey guys, I'm so happy Coach Jerod's going on another journey here. Okay. All right. So tell me, what was the problem with the pure? How far back do we want to go? I feel like the pure drive is the last one you chose for. No. Blade was good. The custom ones that you made. What was wrong with those again?
So the problem was, I think it keeps stemming back to arm problems. I think when I was telling you, it's always either the tricep on one side or just the wrist here. And as you guys, for all the original viewers way back when, they know that probably like a year or two ago, I was dealing with that one injury where I was out for like 2 months. It was like tensovenitis in my right wrist. So obviously I'm a little bit hesitant to try any rackets just because if it's stiff and it starts hurting, I'm letting that thing go just because I can't risk having a long-term injury, especially at this day and age. So yeah, the blade it played well. The one that I customized, one that had a custom paint job, I also put a bunch of weight all over the place, and I was hitting pretty well. But like I told you, I think we both figured out that I was catching the ball a little bit late in the forehand, which is why I think the wrist was bending a little bit too far back, and I don't have really the most compact swing in the world, so I think I was catching it late, and the wrist just was getting too much strain. And then taking off all the weight, just didn't have enough plow for me, and I was getting smacked around the court too much. So
we even added like some of Sky's like anti-vibration stuff in there.
I think we tried that for a little bit and it still wasn't helping. And then we also tried that with the Pure Drive 98, which we'll get into later. But yeah, it seemed like just the weight was a little too much for me to kind of handle with the stick. So I think that's why I had to kind of let go of the blade.
Got it. And then you went to like a Pure Drive 98 previous generation, 16 by 19.
So first, I think before that, I started off with the 98. And then that's when I got the tensovenitis in my wrist. Then I switched the blade. And then I think I went back to the 98 again, which is crazy because I think Harry and I were kind of experimenting. Well, I was experimenting. Harry was applying the rackets thinking I was crazy, which I pretty much am when it comes to these things. Yeah, so I was just, nothing was working for me. I remember my dad was just looking at the pile of rackets. He's like, just try something. So I picked out the Pure Drive 98. And the problem was, as I anticipated what happened, is it's a little bit too stiff for me, but if I could have the comfort racket where I didn't have any arm pin at all, 100% Pure Drive 98 would be my go-to racket. But it's just so stiff is the problem. It plays well for me. The launch angle is great. 98 in a Pure Drive frame, especially with me getting a little bit stronger since I was 14, it just worked for all around aspects of my game. It's just I couldn't withstand the stiffness of the racket. And you know, O-Toro, while it is a little bit softer than the generic poly out there, it wasn't softening up the string or the string bed enough for me to kind of get comfortable. And then yeah, we even tried doctoring it up with Sky's special tape, and still getting tons of issues. So now we're kind of on another racket journey per se to try to figure out something.
So since then, you wanted to try a Pure Aero 98, and I said no.
Yeah.
But he got one from a friend of ours to try. How long did that last?
A week.
Okay.
At best, a week was the thing.
What was wrong with it?
Not enough pop for me, which is interesting because you're saying a lot of people were getting power, but I think the 16 by 20 string pattern wasn't giving me enough pop. And we played Kira and I were playing in a match, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get the ball deep enough, and she was getting smacked at. So I was like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. So
see, I was trying to tell you, those arrows, the number one request to me is that I need more plow. I need more weight in the head. Whoa, really? I told you that already.
So here's the thing, guys. Harry's definitely known my game for long enough where he definitely tells me what's right and wrong, and I just don't tend to listen just because it looks shiny and I want to try it. So anything that looks shiny and fun, I want to just pick it up and try it, and then right when I hit it, and after a week, I throw it away and I look at Harry and I tell him he's correct. So
it's all right. Just cost you more money. That's all.
Exactly.
Okay, so Aero 98 was not it. And then we started in on, you said, you started in on the shift.
Yes.
And I kind of knew that would be too light. You wanted the shift regular. I thought shift pro, but 1820, a little difficult.
Yes, I agree. I mean, the weight felt good. It was really stable. The problem is, I mean, as you know, my backhand is my bread and butter. Yeah, it just wasn't going over the net enough with enough pop and enough pace for me, and I think it was already heavy as it is, so just adding more lead tape would just make that pushing like over 12, which wouldn't be good. So that's why I was a little interested in doing the regular one. And yeah, I mean, the shifts aren't bad. It's just that vertical bending that they usually say about it kind of gives it a little bit of a weird feel. So I think I added a little bit of lead tape at 3 and 9 to try to just stiffen it up a little bit and stabilize it. But yeah, I just don't think I can stick with those 16x20 string patterns. If this was in a 16x19, I probably would have enjoyed it more. I think just having that extra cross for me just makes the launching a little bit too flat, and I like kind of playing that spinny game, so it makes it a little bit tough for me to get the ball over the net. So yeah, unfortunately, as much as I like this, and the feel was obviously unique because no rackets make this, I kind of just was looking for something different. So yeah.
Yeah, if the whole line was 16x19, I feel like it'd be more successful.
I agree.
But that's just me. Okay, so I brought out, we're in the Dunlops now, and we tried the SX 300 Tour. When I first swung this, I was like, I think Jerod would like this because of the plow that it has. Even without the head tape, I felt like it had enough plow. And when I handed it to him, I don't want to say it was magic, but it was definitely almost the right answer. Right?
I agree. So the funniest story about that is, yeah, we were literally filming another video for some racket reviews, and I was telling Kira, I was like, I got to ask Harry about Dunlop. He's probably going to think I'm crazy, but I got to ask him about Dunlop. Lo and behold, Harry comes out with a Dunlop racket, the SX racket, exactly one that I was going to look at. And I was like, Harry, do you like this thing? He's like, I couldn't put this down for a bit. And I'm like, all right, I got to try this thing. This is definitely the front runner racket for me. Because yeah, I've never tried Dunlop rackets, and this one just feels like this thing gives me a ton of spin. I don't know what they did with the technology or what, but they put so much stability in the 3 and 9 positions, hence the huge kind of thick beam. It definitely is a little bit heavy, but at the same time, you feel that kind of plow through and stability and kind of heft through the shot. I kind of have to mess around with the tensions a little bit more just to figure out what the best thing is, because if I string it too low, it has too much pop, a little too high, it feels a little bit stiff. But this racket is definitely the front runner for me, and I was extremely surprised. I've never tried Dunlop rackets before, and this one was definitely the one that just felt just solid all around. Pretty quality stick, and yeah, everyone that I've been hitting with just says I'm hitting with a lot more spin than what I usually do, and I don't think that's me doing it. I think it's the racket. So
yep, spin and plow. I felt like as soon as when I was hitting with this, I'm like, oh, I actually like this, and I really don't like that many rackets and hold on to them that long.
Yes.
This is the one I swung with the longest when I was doing a bunch of tests, and I was like, this is Jerod's racket. Yep. That's what I thought. And then since you were going down the Dunlop line, we had to go Jack Draper here, FX 500 Tour.
Yeah.
What was wrong with this one?
I mean, if we got to compare these rackets, I think the FX probably relates more to the Pure Drive, or it's Pure Drive-esque. The SX is probably more Aero-esque, except, these have a little bit more of a different feel. This one I could definitely hit the ball through the court. The launch angle wasn't as high as the SX 300, but the problem is I just could not get the plow with this thing. As you can see, I added lead 3 and 9 and also
9, 12, and then we have the head tape.
The craziest thing is, yeah, I mean, it feels good swinging it, and it feels good when you hit it on the sweet spot and at the right spot or in the right part of the racket. The problem is any off-center shots for me, the ball kind of just died and sat there is the only thing.
Interesting.
So I kind of had some issues with that, I guess. Tried adding a little bit of the weight, but I think that was messing up with the weight distribution, so I was kind of swinging weird. I just found myself I kept going back to the SX 300 Tour, guys. I don't know why. And, obviously we just tried out the LS and might give the 100 a shot to see if I need more forgiveness. But so far, as an all-around racket and what I'm looking for at the moment, I think this one just plays well.
I see no lead, Coach.
No, I can play with this thing in stock form. I mean, I might add some weight to the top to maybe beef up the swing weight, but I mean, at that point, it's not really worth it to me. I think I can play with this thing in stock form. And serves, another big aspect of my game. I can bomb pretty big serves. The kick serves are jumping up, and volleys I have to get used to a little bit. But overall, like, this is looking like the stick that I might go for.
Got it. So we might be asking Dunlop for a contract then.
Dunlop, if you guys are willing to do it, I'm more than happy to take on this racket. This is a great one. So still kind of looking out for a couple more sticks, but this is looking like the front runner out of all of them for now.
All right. Well, they got Jack Draper finally winning something, so we put Dunlop on the map. So
there you go.
Maybe we can put you on the map with this one.
Indian Wells qualifying next year, Harry.
Let's go. Let's go. I'll be your ball boy. Okay. All right. So front runner right now for Coach Jerod, Dunlop SX 300, the tour model. Okay. I like it too.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything else that you need or want to try?
If you guys want anything for me to try, feel free to let us know. I think Harry might have some more in the works maybe. I don't know if he wants me to try some more, but for now, this is looking like the front runner. But if Harry comes up with anything special or spectacular, then I might have to give it a shot. But it's up to you, Harry.
There's always new rackets coming out.
Exactly.
So the journey never ends. Coach Jerod, thank you so much.
Of course.
For sharing with us your journey. And the journey, like I said, now continues. All right? Where can we find you, Coach?
You guys can find me on Instagram at ModTennis and follow our joint Instagram at KJ Tennis.
Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.